So just a few comments. 2006, the appropriation for municipal operations went up $3.3 million. That was an increase, prior council. 2007 went up $4.9 million, prior council. 2008, $4 million. 2009 was our first budget. That was last year. That was, as Councilor Deputy Mayor Weller-Deming said, that was our first budget. And as she told, we had the township manager here, and we were trying to get changes, structural changes to our operations. We were asking about furloughs, we were asking about layoffs, we were asking about combining departments, trying to change things, because for years things have been done the same, and you see the numbers, 3.3, 4.9, 4 million. We tried to get changes. We got lucky last year. We did not have a major increase in tax appeals or increased expenses. Our increase was $1.2 million. That was 2009. The increase for this year in this budget is $1.1 million. So, okay, this is the pattern. 3.3, 4.9, 4.0. Now, our council, 1.2, 1.1. Does this solve the problems of Montclair? No. Is this like a good thing that we're increasing spending at all? No, of course not. Nobody here is celebrating the budget. No one is saying that everything that's been done is all that can be done. We're going to have to do more next year. We know that we're going to have to do more next year, and it's not going to be pretty also, because where the money is largely in salaries, and many of the things that have been cut this year will again have to be cut next year. You know, we had a 12% cut in our funding for outside institutions. That's 12% in 1 year. Was that a massive slashing and burning? No. Those institutions were early childhood education, the library, and the Arts Council, which is an engine of economic development in Montclair, which I think council members who voted, even that 12% cut, felt like, okay, well, we realize that we're taking a chance on this because arts are an engine of economic development. How much do you want to cut that? We lost 25 jobs on the municipal side through either attrition or layoffs. That has never happened before. The school budget, which we're not voting on tonight, 90 jobs. So anybody who just says this is business as usual, the governing body doesn't know what's going on, their head's in the clouds, just hasn't really been paying attention to the Montclair budgets. You look at those $4 million increases, and then the last 2 years, 1.2 and 1.1. You're right to say we need to do more. But what you're not right to do is say that things are out of control and you guys are spending like a drunken sailor. The fact of the matter is that increase is a fraction of the other increases. And the things that were done this year were substantial cuts. Now, I don't expect everybody to delve into every aspect of the budget. And when we get to next year's budget, there's going to be a lot to deal with. We have budget committees to help us, and we're going to be working very hard from the beginning. But let me tell you that this budget that we're passing now, we did not pass because we applied for aid. We didn't get the aid. A couple of members of the council, including Councilor Afric, it was very important to them to apply for the aid, and I agreed with them that it's worth taking a chance on it. So we knew that we would have to hold off on that. But meanwhile, we've been working consistently for really almost an entire year on this, and we're going right into the 2011 budget. I support the changes, getting changes in writing and moving forward on the 2011 budget. I'm sure we're going to do that. I'm not sure we're going to get all the details in writing tonight. I think it's going to take a little bit more work. I think we're setting a policy for developing our budgets and developing fiscal policies going into the future. But I have to say that I think this year the numbers tell the story. We had a 20% decrease in revenue. This is for parking, this is for fees, for permits, for everything. Commercial ratables are an important thing in Montclair. Later on in this meeting, we'll be voting on a resolution, which I hope the council passes unanimously, designating part of our very valuable part of our downtown area as an area in need of redevelopment, which could pave the way for great sustainable development in the hundreds of millions of dollars. That can help widen the pie. Residential taxpayer, property tax owners have to pay for about 91% of the cost of services in Montclair. As you know, a lot of that is the schools. 58% of that is the schools. So you don't live in Morristown. It's unfortunate that Montclair doesn't have the kind of commercial ratables that Morristown has. Morristown, 40% of the property taxes are commercial property taxes. Over the last year, 2 years, one bright spot for Montclair has been the development of first-class commercial development. This is development that doesn't add children to the schools and therefore doesn't add tremendous expenses to the town. It brings in businesses and workers who then shop in town. They use local businesses. They bring business to Montclair, and they pay property taxes, commercial property taxes. Those go straight to the township. That helps offset the costs so that homeowners don't have to share the burden. I understand why everyone feels the pain of this year's budget. All I can say is the facts are the facts. You look at that pattern, the 3.3, 4.9, 4 million, and then you go 1.2 and 1.1, and you have to say what's the reality and what is the feeling about the need for change. All I can say is the changes will happen going forward. It has not been an easy year for the municipal operations with those 25 jobs. I apologize for cuts in services that we've seen. I think that they're necessary, and there'll be more of them next year. I think we'll all have to learn to live with smaller budgets as time goes on.